Alright, so I wanted to do a video on the Super Mario Galaxy movie because I just saw it last night and I wanted to give my thoughts and opinions on it. Basically, everyone is giving this, or I shouldn't say everyone, most critics are saying this is one of the worst movies ever. So I read quite a few reviews before I saw the movie, which may have been a big mistake because there was tons of negativity about it. So I already went into this movie thinking it was going to be bad, which again was a mistake on my behalf. Now I have seen the first Mario movie, which I loved. I thought it was great. And I am a huge Nintendo fan. I have every single Nintendo system available. I started with the NES way back in the late 80s. And like I said, I've bought every single system. I own every single one. Now, of course, I'm a little older than your typical viewer for a Mario movie, but I've been a lifelong fan, as mentioned. Now, I also have kids, and I brought my kids, but they're all older now. So if I had seen this when they were, 5 years old, I think they would have been way more ecstatic about it than what they were. Okay, so I took my whole family. So first thing I gotta mention, I was lucky enough to get the Yoshi popcorn bucket. So I read online that people were scalping these, and they are expensive. And then people are reselling them on eBay for like $100, which is Mickey Mouse Bull Squash. Don't do that. But there were some at the theater that I went to, so I was able to get the last one, actually. So, awesome popcorn bucket, by the way. That's a Yoshi memorabilia that's going straight into my stream room. Now, as for the movie, was it the best movie I've ever seen? No, and I wasn't anticipating it to be that way. But did I thoroughly enjoy it? Absolutely. I think most of the reviews I read, I don't know if they saw the same movie as me or what, because again, as an older adult, I really enjoyed this movie. So I will admit the plot and the storyline were all over the place, but really, are you going to the Mario movie to see a great storyline? I don't remember the first movie having that good of a plot either. And you want to talk about bad Mario movies, why did you watch the one from 1993? That thing was abysmal. That was one of my least favorite movies I've ever seen. And I saw that in theaters as well. Imagine being a little kid going to see that Mario movie. If you're disappointed by this one, that one was horrible. But I haven't seen it since back then, so who knows? Maybe as an adult, it'll be better. So yes, the storyline was kind of scuffed. But again, I was there for the nostalgia. I was there for the references. I was there for the awesome animation, and all those aspects of this movie delivered in full. There were so many references. Again, I've been playing Nintendo since day one. So if your average Joe critic who probably has never held a controller in their life went and saw this movie, I can understand they would be a little underwhelmed because they wouldn't have got all the references, but I certainly did. And they kept one-upping themselves in these references. I was just blown away by how many awesome cameos and references to the Mario universe they crammed in this movie. So just a few off the top of my head. Obviously, Fox McCloud, he was pretty much a main character. That, of course, was from Star Fox. Bowser gets an awesome reference. I don't want to spoil anything, but mid to late movie, you'll know he has a transformation. Rob the Robot, I mean, even if you're not a Nintendo fan, you should know who Rob the Robot was. I owned a Rob back in the day, and he was slow as slow can be, and they referenced that perfectly in the movie. I laughed so hard at that scene. But my favorite part, which again, your standard critic probably could care less about, was all the Mario 2 references. Mario 2 from the US, of course. So they had Mouser, they had Birdo, and they had Wart. I was in nostalgia heaven when I saw those three characters. Now, if you play Mario Party and things like that, I'm sure you know who at least Birdo is. But the fact that Mouser and Wart were there, and they had significant, well, Wart had a significant role. Mouser was just like a henchman, which is what he was in Mario 2 as well. Then there was the Honey Queen Bee, which was from a 2007 Wii game. But my favorite was the Super Scope. So I owned this as well for the Super Nintendo. I wasn't the big fan of the Super Scope. It was cool, but like the Power Glove for the NES, it just wasn't that useful. So once I saw that Super Scope, I remember nudging my son, like, man, that's a Super Scope. I used to own that. But then it turned the characters into babies. And that is a reference to the terrible Mario movie that I mentioned from 1993. So they tied in a secret reference there. I thought that was amazing. And of course, Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, a reference to their own game there. That's from Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, another fun game. Then I saw the Pikmin and their ship. That was awesome. And of course, who could forget Mr. Game & Watch? And if you've ever played a Smash Brothers game, you'll at least recognize some of these, like Mr. Game & Watch. And he even did his overpowered hit. But even the Pikmin, I believe, are in Smash Brothers. So just tons and tons of references. And then don't get me started on the music. I was just blown away by the soundtrack. I picked up all sorts of themes. There was Super Mario World, even the ending theme. I heard a ton of references to Mario Galaxy, obviously. But tons of themes from all sorts of games. And then they even referenced Mario Maker. I was loving the actual almost gameplay that they put into this movie. It was so fun to watch. So I asked my family afterwards, I said, well, what did you guys think of it? Because before the movie, again, I told them that everyone was rating this one of the worst movies of all time. So my wife did mention that the story was slow and it was kind of all over the place. And she said she even fell asleep at one point. I don't know how she fell asleep, but that's what she said. But she's a Nintendo fan as well. So I said, well, what did you like about the movie? And she said all the power-ups. She loves Mario games, so she knew all the power-ups that were referenced. So that's great. Her favorite Mario is Mario 3, and there were tons of references to that as well. And we play Mario Party all the time. And she loves Yoshi and Yoshi's Island and those games too. So she was definitely entertained. She thought the animation was great. The music was great. But her favorite part were all the power-ups. So then I asked my two sons, again, they're older now, and they said, it was just all right. They weren't impressed. But again, had they been like 5 years old, they didn't say it was bad, but they said it was just all right. And my daughter said it was good. That was it. So again, my kids are all older now, but in the theater, there were a bunch of younger kids, and I heard them laughing, I heard them clapping. Some of them were dressed as Mario and Luigi. Some of them had plushies. There's one kid in front of us, he had a Mario and Luigi and a Yoshi toy. And during the previews, after every preview, he would hold them up and he'd be like, Mario's ready, let's get this started. I mean, he was just being like a class clown in front of this whole theater. So I could tell the enthusiasm and the excitement for all the little kids that were in the theater watching. I mean, they were super stoked about it. Even afterwards, everyone was high-fiving and clapping and they thought it was great. So I think it delivered in all the aspects that it was trying to achieve. You don't need a great story when you've got such an awesome atmosphere going on with the incredible cameos, the awesome animation, the beautiful music. It doesn't need the greatest storyline ever. And again, if you're going into a Mario movie in 2026 expecting a Shawshank Redemption plotline, then obviously you're going to walk out of there disappointed. But for me, it had every nostalgic reference that I could dream of. I actually don't know how they're going to top this. The only game I didn't see them reference was Mario Paint. I was totally expecting the big fly swatter to come out. And who knows, maybe there was a Mario Paint reference and I just didn't see it. But they even referenced Punch-Out! So there was this scene at the beginning where Yoshi's like walking through Brooklyn, and that's a direct cameo of Little Mac in Punch-Out! And you can see Doc and Little Mac, they were actually in the background, they were training. Doc was on the bike and Little Mac had his pink jumpsuit on. So I just thought it was one of the better movies that I've seen in the last 2 years at least. So I, for one, am hoping they bring out more Mario movies. But like I said, I don't know how they're going to top all the cameos. But there are so many games and so many twists and turns in the Mario Galaxy out there that I'm sure they can make at least quite a few more movies. So there you go. Those were my thoughts and opinions on the brand new Super Mario Galaxy movie. The cameos were off the charts. The music was beautiful. The animation was spectacular. I thought it was good. I'd give it probably a 6.5 or 7 out of 10. Again, not the best movie I've ever seen, but it had all the things to keep me entertained, and I enjoyed it. So if you've seen the movie, let me know in the comments. If you've seen both movies, the first and the second, let me know which one you liked more. I think if you're a parent, though, and you want to watch this with your kids, if they're under 10 years old, I bet they're going to love it. If they're older than 10, they might just enjoy it. They won't say it's the best movie ever. And if they're, I don't know, 16 or older, they'll probably not really care for it. But as a lifelong Nintendo fan, I loved it. So there you go. That's all there is to it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like is always appreciated. And don't forget to use my Support-A-Creator code, which is tabortime.